This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hi everybody, welcome to show 168 Aussie Mac Zone. Again, brought to us by athwebhosting.com.au. We've got Australian service, affordable competitive plans, 99.95% uptime, cPanel with its feature-rich control panel, and I was using it today to fix a customer's problem with some email. So yeah, keep in mind athwebhosting.com.au. And again,
$5.95 when paid annually.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for backing me up on that. Garth. Welcome.
G'day, Michael. Sorry I stopped all over you there, but that's okay.
That's all part of the fun.
Absolutely. It is when you've got us two anyway.
That's how professional we are.
Absolutely, especially with the delay that we always have with my internet. Oh, Michael and listeners, bit of exciting news. I don't know if I mentioned this.
Go.
Second half of 2017, I might have real internet.
Oh. So
NBN.
You're what we're spending that extra $50 billion or $1 million or whatever it was this week.
Yeah.
It's all at your place. Oh, and Glenn's place.
Absolutely. So I'm reckoning if they're saying the end of 2017, that probably means the end of 2019. But we won't make those kind of aspersions.
Donald will take all our money by then, so it doesn't matter.
Oh.
So we've got some Aussie Apple Ramblings this week. Apple launches a repair program for iPhone 6s devices experiencing unexpected shutdowns. Apple has determined that a very small number of iPhone 6s devices may unexpectedly shut down. This is not a safety issue and only affects devices with a limited serial number range that were manufactured between September and October 2015. If you have experienced this issue, please visit an Apple Restyle store or an Apple authorised service provider and have your device's serial number checked to confirm eligibility for a free battery replacement. And we do have a link in the show notes, of course. So
Perfect.
Yes, I know Ken from macOS Ken is experiencing this problem. So
okay. Yeah,
that's just one. And I think he sent a request out to his listeners, and he got 34 responses in a day. So, of people having the same problem.
Yeah, we need to know how many listeners he has to know how much that means, what that means, don't we?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's got.
I've never really heard of this one. Yeah, I know he's got a few.
Well,
I've never.
Sorry,
being a real. Yeah. I was just saying I haven't actually heard of this being a real problem for people. So I guess it is, like they said, a fairly limited range of serial numbers. Production time that is impacted.
Yeah, it was. I went to an Apple training night last week, and it was brought up at the Apple training night, but it wasn't like everyone saying, "Well, I've had that," or "I've had that," and "I've had that." It was only one person commenting. So
yeah,
and that was a lot of Apple repair people from New South Wales. So.
Very good.
Yeah, and while we're talking
well,
about,
that's not the only. It's not the only repair service that's been launched lately, is it?
No, because we do have another one, which is Apple launches touch disease repair program for iPhone 6 Plus. Apple today launched a new repair program for iPhone 6 Plus addressing complaints about a manufacturing issue that can cause the iPhone 6 Plus to become unresponsive to touch. According to Apple, some iPhone 6 Plus devices may exhibit multi-touch issues after being dropped multiple times on a hard surface, causing damage to the device. Under its repair program, Apple will fix affected iPhone 6 Plus devices for a service price of US $149, which I think equates to Australia about $229, just off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. 230, let's say.
Yeah, and users who have paid more than this for having this repair already done will be contacted by Apple for a refund. Again, it was Ken from macOS Ken brought up a thing that if this is the only phone that's having this problem when it's being dropped, does that mean it's not built properly anyway? That was his excuse, but
yeah. So I heard some comment around the fact that some of the reinforcement around those chips was removed in this device.
Yeah.
So it's sort of one of these situations where, okay, if you don't drop it, nothing, or you don't bend it, or you don't do anything wrong, it's going to be fine. But how much wear and tear is too much wear and tear?
Yeah, it is
how much wear and tear that causes a problem is due to, design flaws, and how much is, well, why would you expect it to keep on working after you dropped it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many times am I allowed to drop my phone on a hard surface and have it still work?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a very challenging part for both Apple and the user. So, but Apple do look after you. So
well, for $230 they do, yeah.
Still cheaper than a new phone, isn't it?
Well, this is true. But if you like my phone, I've dropped it a few times. There's no cracks. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's in a like a leather case that gives it a bit of protection. But having said that, it's still getting a pretty severe jolt when it's dropped. Even though the screen's not broken, it's getting a pretty severe jolt. There's no outward signs of that to me as a user. Okay, yeah, I pick up my phone, it all looks good. Meanwhile, inside, it's had a bit of a good old shake around.
Yeah, and they're all surface mount these days. So,
Sorry?
They're all surface mount, the components inside, basically. And that's not a lot of solder holding that pin onto that board.
Well, there's not a lot of spare space for extra solder, is there?
So,
it's all pretty tightly fit in there. So, yeah, it's a tricky one, this one, I reckon.
Yeah. Now, your favourite subject. The iPhone TV ads.
You tell us about it, Michael. I'll just have a little sip of my wine.
Excellent.
While you tell us about the ads, because I never see the ads and I don't know really. But I know people do, so go for it.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple of new ads on TV just lately, and I've been enjoying them. There was one last night. The first time I saw it was last night. It's called the Dive ad, and it's got an older bloke like me sitting at the pool, and he puts his bit of music comes up, so he puts his speakers on loud, and then walks all the way to the top of a 4-board diving tower and does this nice dive off the tower, and his phone gets, it splashes his phone with water. His phone's actually sitting in water playing the music, but it's louder so everyone can hear it. So yeah, it just shows that the phone is more waterproof these days. It's actually listed as waterproof, and the speakers are a lot louder. That's what they were pushing.
Of all the aspects of the iPhone 7 over the 6S, they're the two that make me want to upgrade most of all.
The other ad was a younger guy taking pictures and videos while he's out skateboarding around town. And the ad's called Midnight, and it was good too, with a bit of different style of music and stuff. But yeah, just obviously pushing that it's got better light for the camera, better low light capabilities of the camera. So yeah, I thought they were both very good ads. And as again, from the training last week, which I'm not allowed to talk about, but it's interesting, there's things you've got to worry about when you're putting things back together now. It's because we learned how to take an iPhone 7 apart and put it back together. You've got to be careful of making sure when you're gluing it back together that there's no glue residue there, because that lets water in and dust in. And there's grommets on the screw holes, which you've got to make sure are in good nick, which again stops water and dust getting in that have never been there before.
Grommets on the screw holes, jeez. So do you get a specific kind of glue that you have to use? Like, do they supply the glue? Is that part of the...
Yeah, so it's all part of the go, yep. It's actually right. It's like a double-sided tape, and it comes in a special holder that's already formed, and you've got to put it in a certain order and peel it back in a certain order, all that sort of stuff. You've actually got to do extra pushing down that you didn't have to do. There's a special a special jig that squeezes the phone together.
Okay.
For a certain time, and the time's actually on there. It's got a timer on the jig. But even the point where the screwdrivers that you're doing things, undoing screws with and doing them back up, it's actually not a Torx head, but a Torx screwdriver. So it goes click, click, click when it gets to a certain tension.
That's how tight it has to be. No tighter.
No tighter than that. Yeah. So all those little things all add up to the quality, and that's why Apple and Apple authorised repairers that have done the course are allowed to do like battery replacements and screen replacements.
Yep.
And lots of them too. So, and something else just to boast about us Apple certified techs, the third party companies are all on above 90% customer satisfaction. So
that's pretty good.
Doing any Apple repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because Apple, so if you get your something fixed at an Apple store, at an Apple certified repairer, and we've got to give the customer's email contact details, and then Apple will send out the questionnaire that they send out to everyone when you go to their store. What did you think of so and so's service? And you do the repair, so they're all on above 90% at the moment. So we think that's pretty good.
So do you get your own? Does Apple feed that back to you?
Only the score.
Yep.
Not the comments, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's the way it happens. That's what happens in the Apple world, my friend.
Well, yeah. Thank you for that little bit of insight there.
All makes a difference in the long run. So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago that Johnny Ive and Mark Newsom were going to do the London Hotel Claridge's Christmas tree. And it's been revealed, and perhaps not surprisingly, there's not a bauble in sight. So
oh, come on, I want a bauble. It's not Christmas without bauble, surely.
That's right, yes. Mayfair's landmark festive tree has been drawing crowds since 2009, when notable designers began creating the seasonal decoration each year. But Ivan Newsom's interpretation takes the tradition to another level, albeit a minimalist one, by transferring the hotel's lobby into a natural grove of unadorned birch trees as part of a living light and sound installation. The designers had to say this: "Our aim was to create an all-enveloping magical experience that celebrates our enormous respect for tradition while recognising our excitement about the future and things to come. There are a few things more pure and beautiful than nature, so that was our starting point, laying various iterations of organic forms with technology." Design and Style magazine Wallpaper described a scene in which a series of vast 4-metre high light boxes line the walls, illuminating black and white images of snow-capped silver birch trees, against which towering cast models of Scots pine rise to a canopy of natural green pine. The accompanying forest soundscape begins with a dawn chorus and features owls, nightingales, sparrows and foxes. Synced to the audio is specially choreographed lighting that cycles from sunrise to night time, creating a dappled effect in the installation space. At the centre of the grove, a smaller sapling tree appears to grow in transitions of light, which the designers described as a symbol of the future. And of course, it's open all the way through the festive season.
You know what? I was with you right up to the very end when I suddenly realised that if bloody Johnny Ives had focused on getting those AirPods out of the door, I'd have those now rather than this bloody Christmas tree.
You've got beautiful Christmas tree, but
I really don't care. Give me the AirPods.
And I am.
No, I'm being a little facetious. Obviously, it's very, very cool. I'm sure it's beautiful and very meaningful for everyone who visits. But wow,
it does look really good in the photo. Yes. So,
yeah, I'm sure it does. Fantastic. Still,
yeah.
I want my AirPods.
So do I. I'll try the. You can get one set and you can have one and I can have one.
There you go. We'll split the difference.
Yeah,
$120 each. It sounds like a bargain.
Yeah. Does that mean I can talk to you and you'll hear me?
I don't know. Oh, the problem with that is there's only one charging case.
I'm sure we can work something out.
Yeah, we'll just put it in the mail.
So I'll chuck a picture up on the Facebook page, but just talking about that, we're going to try just having our ordinary Facebook page instead of the group page, only because we want to see if the numbers change, that's all. If we have any hassles, then of course we can just go back to the group page, but yeah, we just want to try some more things, and it means people can share information that we actually put up there. You've got to be a member to share everything from the group page, but yeah, so we can share it, go from there.
Very good.
Okay, so we're going to try that. Hello, something just happened.
What was that?
Sorry.
Oh,
there we go. We're back again there.
This MacBook Air's fan is really kicking in.
It is. Okay. So, here's an interesting one. McLaren CEO admits to talks with Apple, but no bid was made. Officials from Apple met with premium automaker McLaren, but the discussions never went as far as a bid. The CEO of the sports car company has revealed in a new interview. So, yeah, they've been serious about what they were going to do. That's at least a start. That's just a quick little story.
Yep.
This one's interesting.
That was not a complete load of rubbish. There was actually something. There was some fire behind the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Johnny might have been just in there trying to decide what colour to paint his new McLaren that he was going to buy. I don't know.
That could be about the size of it, couldn't it?
Yeah. So there's a company in America called KB Home, which is a home building company, and they've started to have HomeKit enabled community in San Jose. So by integrating HomeKit during manufacturing, home builder KB Home aims to have the most seamless HomeKit support possible. Apple certified accessories will allow homeowners to control lighting, temperature, door locks and more from an iPhone, iPad or watch. KB Home now has a model home to view it at its village, which is at Promenade at Communications Hill. Price starting in the low 900,000s, though HomeKit packages run extra.
Oh no, it's still extra on top of that?
The 3-story homes range in square footage from 2,100 to 2,178, and they can have 4 or 5 bedrooms and bathrooms and a 2-car garage, because we know one of the first things you're going to do is put your roller door on your watch.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's interesting if you have new homes demonstrating what it can do for you as a selling point for the new home. I think that's a good way of doing it, pushing it.
You're all over this HomeKit thing, Michael, and I'm still not. I feel a bit left out, but I don't know. I haven't found the compelling use case, so we'll come back to that another night, though. I think.
Yeah. I enjoy my little bits of home automation I've got floating around. So yeah. So now this is serious time. Danger. That's how I've started this news story. This weekend I had a customer contact me about their MacBook Pro getting hot when it was charging, and the culprit was a non-Apple power adapter. So it wasn't a fake one that had the Apple logo or anything. It actually was labelled as a replacement for Apple part number, blah blah. It was rated at the correct voltage and wattage. That was actually printed on there as well. But when I ran the tests, it was putting out less voltage. Notice less voltage and making the MacBook Pro get hot, and I mean hot. So much so that this MacBook Pro had a clear sticker top and bottom that you can get that is like a protective thing to stop them being scratched, etc.
Yes.
And the sticker had actually bubbled on the bottom from being so hot. So
that's pretty incredible, isn't it? It really got that hot. And that's from putting up less voltage. So it's sort of really struggling to, I don't know how that works, but
well,
the ampage.
It's trying to drag more in and getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Trying to do the work. It wasn't the battery getting hot, it was actually the electronics were getting hot.
Yes.
And I'm talking hot, right?
Yeah.
After only about 15 minutes, it was getting hot. So, and this is the challenge that we have with non-Apple products. And I'll give them credit, they weren't trying to be a copy and be a fake one, which I've seen plenty of fake ones floating around. Even to the point where it was rated at 85 watts, but when you ran the test, it was only a 45 watt one inside, and you can actually tell the difference in the weight.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's often commented on how much is going on inside a normal Apple adapter, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, power. There's a lot of electronics. Yeah.
They also have even the Chinese authorities have been cracking down because there's been some fires in China with fake Apple USB power supplies as well. So please, we might be talking 50% difference in the price, but yeah, we've seen what happens when they catch fire too. That's
no one wants that, right?
That's what we don't want. That's right. Or like that's wearing out your MacBook Pro really quick too, by the way. Just because it takes longer to charge and gets hotter. So yeah, please. Just the Apple one. Just go to the Apple store.
Just get it. Spend an extra $10 and get the real thing.
Yeah, please. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to forget to promote Aussie Tech Radio, AussieTechRadio.com. Don't forget you got Linking Edge or Your Tech Life or The Den or what are those? Yeah, Aussie Tech Heads. Yeah, those nice guys. Boys of Tech. There's quite a few shows on there. So there's also the Aussie Tech Security podcast or the Aussie Tech Heads podcast as separate shows from our sister shows. That's because they're all girls on Aussie Tech Heads, isn't it? Yeah. They're all big girls.
Except for when you're on there, Michael.
So we've also got I've got a how-to for you, and it is how do I see what's wrong with that camera? Sorry, I'm just go back to that one. No. So I've just got a camera problem on my software. That'll be right. Now I've got a spinning wheel.
It's going on. I don't know why my Mac is overheating so badly tonight too. It does not like Zoom tonight, I can tell you that much.
It's trying hard to get back to a picture. And it says I've got to... Anyway, we'll run with that. I apologise for the poor quality of the video here at the moment, going on and off. How do I see or select a photo from a burst? So with our phones now, you've got the burst mode on the iPhone. So you open Photos, go to Albums, select Bursts, and then select the burst that we're talking about. Then at the bottom of the screen, there's a Select button, and that lets you choose from the however many photos you took. So you just scrub from left to right to select the photo you want out of the burst. Took me a little while to realise how to do it because I hadn't thought about it. So that's how we do that.
Easily done.
Yes.
And you had a second one there too, I think.
Yes. So the Raise to Wake feature is getting it to work every time. There's been a few discussions about this. So sorry, I'm just trying to get to... No, that's not going to work. Before we go into detail, let's look at what's required. Raise to Wake uses the M9 coprocessor. This is found in the following models: iPhone 6s, iPhone 6s Plus, iPhone SE, iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. So if that's not one of your phones, you'll never have Raise to Wake. You also need to have iOS 10. So if you don't have the M9, no Raise to Wake. So now, thanks to How To Geek, it has been discovered that there are 2 ways to trigger Raise to Wake. In fact, these 2 methods will activate the feature each and every time you try. The first solution is to just flip it from face down to face up, and that apparently will make it work every single time. And the second is the handset has to be completely perpendicular to the ground and in portrait mode, not in landscape. It'll only work in portrait mode. So keep that in mind.
Oh, the plus can be portrait on the home screen, can't it? Can it?
They're all portraits long ways up and down.
Oh, sorry. Landscape on the home screen.
Nah.
Okay, so my question is, if the screen is locked, how can it be in anything other than portrait mode?
Maybe just the way when you're picking it up.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Yes. Okay. Being stupid here.
No.
I got my blonde wig on. Yeah.
It's just one of those.
Just thinking that the screen is, unless you're in an app that's, that you can put into landscape, the screen's going to be in portrait.
Yes. So, now what about? I've also seen a lot of ads lately for, when you're surfing the web, there's lots and lots of these things that say, download MacKeeper now, or get cleaner for your Mac, or this Mac memory cleaner, which someone I was talking to today had done. And the list goes on. There's so much of it on the web these days. Don't download them. You don't need them. Seriously.
Michael. Didn't I tell you that we've got a sponsorship deal with Mac Cleaner Pro? You ruined it.
I have. I must have. But they will slow your machine down, I promise.
Oh, come on. No. They promise to make it quicker and faster and clean up all the stuff and get rid of everything that I don't need.
That's right. If only it was true. I haven't found any that don't slow your machine down.
Yeah.
So, now, having said that, please stay up to date when using known upgrades. So if again, if Creative Suite 5 tells you need the latest what was it today? It was said it needed the latest Java runtime, but it was an older version. It was for SE6. So go to Adobe and download it. Don't just click a button. That way you confirm that that's the right place to get it from. Download VLC and nothing will ever say to you need another codec to run that again when you're looking at things on the web, or look at it in YouTube. But make sure you understand exactly where your upgrade's coming from and that it's a trusted site. Do some research on it before you do it.
Don't even worry about the trusted site. Just go to the place that makes it, whatever it is.
Yes.
Don't download it from one of these third-party sites that host it. Just go to the original site. Find out who. Oh, you know what? VLC.de is where the Videoland comes from, or whatever it is. Videoland.de. It's a German one anyway.
Yeah.
But just go to the original site. Don't just. Avoid all these Mac and every other kind of download site that you can name. Always go to the source.
Yes. So stay up to date. Remembering that you can't update 10.6.8 Mac operating system anymore. So there's no security patches, no Safari updates, no Google Chrome updates. Just to name a few. So
10.6. Which one's that?
Snow Leopard. Off the top.
Snow Leopard. Okay. Yep.
So that's where
I have a good friend who is who loves this, has a machine that runs Snow Leopard and longs for the days of the Snow Leopard. Might be time to move on, eh?
Yes. I've been doing. It's amazing. I've actually been looking at some Mac OS 9 machines where someone's still running them for a particular piece of software that they haven't updated. But anyway.
You must have got a bit of a fright when you saw that, I reckon.
What the hell's that? I'm not that old. If only it was true.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah. I got nothing else. You got some more?
No, I think you've covered the lot, Michael. There was something, but as usual, it's gone in and out of one ear.
So
Like in one and out the other, as they say. Yeah. No, I think that's a nice little roundup of this week's news for the Aussie Mac Zone.
All right, there we go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and thanks for listening, guys.